is for the Premier. Yesterday, the auditor confirmed what Vic Fideli had told this Liberal government all along, that their attempt to steal a seat in the last election cost $1 billion. Now, let's put this into perspective, Speaker. Barack Obama spent less money campaigning to become the President of the United States than you spent to save the member from Oakville's seat. It's absolutely shameful. And what bothers Ontarians the most is that the Liberal campaign chair who signed that cabinet document either didn't know what she was signing with the $1 billion price tag, or she knowingly stood in this assembly and said it was only $33 million. So, Speaker, my question is very simple. Is she incompetent, or did she knowingly tell this House it was $33 million when she knew it was $1 billion, and that's why we need a judicial inquiry? Will she call it?
Be seated, please. Be seated, please. Premier.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. And I know the Minister of Energy is going to want to speak to the supplementary, but I just want to be clear once again, Mr. Speaker, that at every juncture, when I reported on a number, I was taking that number from information that had been given to me by officials, Mr. Speaker. That is the only way that I had access to numbers. Those are the numbers that I used, Mr. Speaker, and I have said repeatedly that the numbers have changed over time, and that's been one of the issues around this whole situation, Mr. Speaker. It's why, in fact, I asked the Auditor General to look at the situation in the first place.
Thank you. Supplementary.
Speaker, I guess the numbers certainly did change. She said $33 million. It was $1 billion. That's 2,640% that she was off, Speaker. It proves she's got no plan, she's got no mandate, and she has no credibility left whatsoever. She knew all along what the true cost of those canceled gas plants were. The auditor said it as much in her documentation yesterday. She said at the time this Premier was standing up saying it only cost $33 million, that she had actually already paid $330 million that cost. She already paid a third, Speaker, of what it had cost. That's how much she knew when she knew it. Has she no shame? She created the OPA to remove decision-making from the political sphere from energy decisions. Yet now she comes with her crocodile tears and says she's going to prevent political interference. She's already done it. So, Speaker, the question is, how are you supposed to see before a judicial inquiry?
Be seated, please. Minister of the Environment will come to order. Premier.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, first of all, I want to take the opportunity to congratulate my new energy critic. It's the first opportunity I've had in the House. She was one of 3 energy critics that were appointed at the time, Mr. Speaker, and consequently I asked the Premier if she could appoint 2 co-ministers of energy to match the 3 critics, but she turned me down, Mr. Speaker.
Member from Northumberland, Quinte West, come to order. Second time.
We're talking about the costs that are going into the pool of costs that affect the rates, Mr. Speaker. Yes, these additional costs will impact and put upwards pressure on the rates. On the other hand, Mr. Speaker, in the last 5 or 6 months, we have taken some decisions that are going to be very significant in pushing the energy rates down. For example, Mr. Speaker, there was the $3.7 billion we saved on the Samsung deal. That $3.7 billion is going to push rates down over the next 20 years, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Your question?